If you remember very well, just a few days ago, there is a live broadcast that was done by Evidence Chari. Evidence Chari is someone I've known from Zimbabwe for quite some time. Somebody I used to talk to. We were quite close at some point, and then things happened along the way. I did an exposure on him some few months ago, on him together with his father, where I was talking about different stuff and other things that I was talking about in that broadcast. So a few days ago, he went online, and as he was online, he shared a footage. There's a footage that he shared online, and in that footage, you can clearly see myself sitting there together with Blessing Mashangwa. Was also sitting right there as well. We're having a conversation. And we were just talking about a live broadcast that we were going to do together. But I just want to start from there before I get into details and before I get to touch so many things that are surrounding this whole fiasco that has been going on social media. First and foremost, I stand for the truth. And everything that I've ever shared online, on my platforms, it might be YouTube or Facebook, everything that I've ever shared on any of my platforms, it is based on real information, true information, not false information or fabricated information. So when I started doing these exposures, I remember very well, I started talking about Alf Lukau. And when I was talking about Alf, I remember very well that I made it a point that I told people that this is my truth. And I'm not saying all these things based on hearsay or based on things that I've heard, things that I've heard from other people, but this was based on personal experience with Alf Lukau. When I shared my experience in the cult, that was not based on hearsay. It was based on my personal experience in the cult, talking about things that I've done and things that I've seen with my own eyes, not things that I've heard from other people. So when it came to the part where this gentleman, Evidence, went live and he was sharing the footage that he was sharing, many of you can see in the footage that I was listening. Most of the time I was listening. I was doing a lot of listening because it was not my story that I was listening to, but it was the story of the guest that I was going to bring to come and sit with me on my broadcast. And I remember very well that she was narrating her encounter with Emmanuel Makandiwa. Emmanuel Makandiwa being a man, I don't have any personal encounters with him. He is somebody that I have known from Zimbabwe, somebody that I have known just like all the other people that I know from Zimbabwe, just from a distance. So in this case, Emmanuel Makandiwa's exposure is not something that I was going to do based on my personal experience with him, but it is something that I was going to do based on information that was brought to me by different people. As I go and as I get deeper and deeper into the broadcast, I'm going to reveal certain truths and I'm going to reveal certain things. Some of the things I'm going to reveal are going to be extremely shocking to some of the people who are watching right now. So I really want you to take time, be as attentive as you can be as I begin to explain what really transpired and how we got to where we are today. Just to give a bit of a background, I met, I started talking to Blessing Mashangwa a few months ago. She reached out to me after a live broadcast that I had done talking about Makandiwa. She reached out to me and we started talking from there. As we started talking, I was busy planning to relocate from Durban to Johannesburg. And as I was relocating from Durban to Johannesburg, she offered a property. She offered a property which I was paying for. It was not a free property, just like what other people, all these other fake journalists are spreading online and stuff like that. It was a property that I paid for, and so I took occupation in the property. And part of the property, I turned it into a studio, which is something that is fully known by everybody who has been following me over the past months. I turned part of the property into a studio, and it's something that I've been working on, to launch my my online ministry, and also to prepare for the 2021 online ministry that I will be doing starting from this coming year. So as we went on to talk, to each other, talking, she shared her experience with me with Makandiwa. And as she was sharing her experience with me with Makandiwa, at the time I was still contemplating whether I should do an exposure on Makandiwa or I should not. I was contemplating, and I remember sometime in October, I actually did a poster, and I was supposed to do an exposure on Makandiwa, but I decided to stop because the information that had been brought to me, it was still questionable, to some extent. It was still questionable, so I decided to put it on hold. I had actually designed a poster for it, and I did not share the poster. Probably shared the poster with one or two people, but I didn't put it out there on my social media. Up until a certain time, when a certain person whom many of you know right here, if you're watching me right now, you are fully aware of the person I'm about to mention. This man reached out to me. He reached out to me. Firstly, he reached out through one of his sons, whom I know personally. We've had a relationship from all the way from Zimbabwe. So he reached out to me and they said, look, my father wants to talk to you, man. You know what? We are from Zimbabwe. At times we need to make peace, whatever it is. Let's talk. So I said, okay, it's fine. So eventually we started talking with Hubert Angel. We started talking, and as we started talking, I'm not forgetting the Blessing Mashangwa part that I just mentioned. I'm going to get back to it. That is why I want you to be extremely attentive to what I'm going to say. So we started talking, myself and Hubert Angel, we started talking. And as we started talking, he was asking me about the ministry, the exposure and everything. So what are you doing now? You have not been broadcasting for some time. And I told him I'm busy building my studio right now. That is why I am not broadcasting that much as much as I used to. So in the process, we started talking about evidence. We started talking about evidence, and he was asking me, I remember the last time you were exposing evidence. What happened? Are you done with him? Are you done with them? Then I said, no. I'm not yet done, but there's just things that I'm just trying to verify before I can, even go ahead with the exposure, which is something that I'm not considering because now I am looking at focusing mainly on the online ministry that I'm going to be launching. Now, in the next few minutes, there's an audio that I'm going to play for you. An audio that I'm going to play for you, which is a conversation between myself and Hubert Angel, a conversation that we had. And in that conversation, you're going to take note of certain things that are very key. I had decided to build my studio and now focus on preaching and focus on the online ministry, taking the Back to Christ movement to all the ends of the world, just as I have been saying over these past months. But when I started talking to Hubert Angel, who happens to be Emmanuel Makandiwa's brother or /friend, or whatever, I don't know. So when we started talking, he said to me, he has got information on Emmanuel Makandiwa. He has got information on Makandiwa that he would like to share with me so that I may go and share with the public. to let people know, the real Makandiwa and who really he is, because according to him, he is a very cunning man. He's a cunning man who comes out to the public, portrays a different image, yet behind the scenes, he is not what he portrays to be. Now, this is according to Uber Angel. So, in the conversation, I'm going to play an audio. You're going to get to hear a lot of things that he mentioned in that conversation that I had with him. Now, I want you to take note of the fact that I had clearly stopped with the exposure and everything, and I was now focusing on building a studio so that I may establish the online ministry. Up until Uber Angel came into the picture, and he was giving information about Emmanuel Makandiwa. Now, before I go deeper into explaining a lot of things, I just want you to take some time. This is an audio, this is a recording that was recorded. It was a video call conversation that we had using one of his son's phone. The same son who reached out to me at first, wanting me to talk to Uber Angel and stuff like that, is the same son whose phone I was using at the time. We're talking on a video call, and the phone call was recorded. Yeah, the phone call was recorded, and I recorded the conversation that we had on that particular day.